These days, Korea had at the status quo, Korea had bad stereotypes that women are weak and men are strong, so they only send the men to the military. Moving to our first argument, we assert that the government's duty is to get rid of the bad stereotypes. Why is it so? There is a stereotype that men are strong and women are weak, but if people send like women to military, the bad stereotype will decrease, and then there will be a better happiness to women. What does it look like? If men just go to the military, women feel like they are weak, so that is why the stereotype is made, and the military is like climbing a tree and then jumping down, but some women can do that, so they will like reduce the best stereotype. Why is it important? At the culture with reduce of bad stereotype versus culture. Even if that is Korea's culture, bad culture is like give a bad like influence to Korean people. Moving on to second argument, we assert that by sending women to militaries, they can like have more happiness. Why is it so? Because they can have success. Some women have like success on like those, so those women will have happiness where the bad stereotype is gone, and then their life becomes better. What does it look like? The women having bad stereotypes and not going to the military makes a lot of like depression to the women, because if they like exercising or like that, many men do that, and then many women cannot. Why is that important? The happiness versus the happiness versus happiness versus freedom. Even if they have freedom, their stress about their stress does not go out, because they are already like they're already having a bad stereotype, and then they sometimes get like keys. How to propose?
Ladies and gentlemen, unlike what the teen government says, the reality is that you don't need to advocate for the conscription of women. Moreover, the motion suggests the bigger problem for the world. Women are weaker than men, so they might die. Therefore, team opposition strongly believes that we don't need to advocate for the conscription of women. In my speech, I will rebut the Prime Minister's argument about that if women don't go to the military, the country will be weak. Next, I will present two arguments, which are feminism is about protecting women so they have freedom of choice, and that women are weaker than men. My first rebuttal is towards the Prime Minister's first argument that if women don't go to the military, the country will be weak. This argument is not true, because women are so weak to fight in the military, and they need to be protected. However, if they fight, a lot of them might die. Our first argument is that feminism is about protecting women so they have freedom of choice. To explain further, feminism aims to give women more choices and freedom. However, if women need to fight, it is not what feminism stands for, so women might be in danger. This is what rules are for the world to be safe. Therefore, this is why we don't need to advocate for the conscription of women. Our second argument is that women are so weak to help the country. Why is this true? This is true because even if women fight, the country wouldn't change a lot. Women should be protected, but if they fight in a war, they will just die, and the people of that country will decrease a lot of the
POI.
that country. I'll reject it. So not fighting will be safer to them. In summary, we presented two strong arguments today. Firstly, feminism is about protecting women so they have freedom of choice, and secondly, women are so weak to help the country. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe it is important to not advocate for the conscription of women. Therefore, I am proud to propose for the motion. Thank you.
So moving on to extensions, they said that so if we send a woman to war, the woman is weak, so we can't send them to the military, but they didn't really prove why woman is weak. So their rebuttal is wrong. And also in their second argument, they said that we must protect the woman and give the woman freedom, but this is actually discrimination because when we give women freedom, this stereotype of women being weak makes the men makes the men makes South Korea makes men go to war if they are men. But when we give the woman freedom, the men will be jealous of the woman, so they will constantly tell the government to make them not go to war. So moving on to our third argument, we assert that the woman has power to go to the government because people think that woman is very weak, but that is a very bad stereotype. So first, why will women be not weak? Well, so why will women be better? So woman feels discrimination because like the South Korea only sends men to the war. So like the woman wants to experience the feeling of military. So second, we must break the stereotype for women because like as we said, the woman feels discrimination. So like the woman could cause like a civil war because like because like they want this opportunity to go to military, but the government just doesn't let them. So third, how does this stereotype harm women? Well, this stereotype harm women because like the woman is a human, so they can feel discrimination. And so like the woman needs to be in the same as the men's as men. To summarize our whole argument, we said that the woman deserves this opportunity to go to military. And this benefit of women's stereotype getting erased is better than their harm of getting the woman dying because like their harm isn't even proved because they didn't prove how women are weak, but we said that we can erase this stereotype and give women freedom. Proud to oppose.
Speaker, we think that the goals of feminism can only be achieved when feminist movements can persuade as women as possible to support them both on a principle and practical basis. Said Gov is unstrategic because the feminism movement will simply waste the already little political capital and legitimacy that they already conceded in their speeches. As the deputy leader of opposition, I will argue that increasing mandatory military for females would lead to worse gender stereotypes. Before that, a few rebuttals against their previous speaker. Whether women are strong and capable enough to go to the military, or whether it would matter in today's debate. Just to clarify, we're extremely happy to see strong women volunteering for the military, proving themselves in combat and determining changes. In the military, what we're not happy with is that the team government is forcing all women to be forced to expose themselves to the risk even if they don't feel ready and they are scared. This debate is about what feminist movements should do. We can easily argue that mandatory female conscription is way too expensive to establish a lot of new infrastructure for women. However, we don't make those arguments because we are smart enough to know that this motion requires us to decide what feminist movement should or should not do. Also, the benefit of female military conscription that the government team presents are only valid if they can prove that it will actually happen once feminists advocate for it. Just advocating for it doesn't guarantee enough support for voters to make it a reality. Now I will move on to our team's last argument about mandatory female conscription would lead to worse gender stereotypes. This is likely because being drafted in the military enrolls more than just becoming a soldier. It also includes the specific tasks and roles traditionally seen as feminine, such as military roles for combat offices. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing team promised you that they should let women go into military. However, they failed to give adequate analysis on it. In contrast, our team was able to fully prove that women shouldn't go to military. That's why I take this debate home. Thank you.
Remember first rebuttal, they said that they are giving the freedom to the woman, but they're not giving freedom to the woman because it's the woman's choice. The women have the choice, and they are and so they aren't hearing the women's voices about that they wanting to go to wars. Also, they remember second rebuttal. They said that they couldn't go to the military, but there are other jobs at the military that that matches the woman's benefits, such as cooking or cooking things, or etc. Also, there are the brave women and that can go to the military and fight at the war, and because they're strong and brave enough to go to the war. Also, there was a shortcoming at their third argument because they didn't fully prove their argument. So when they're first class, what should the governor do? The governor should make them go to the military because there are strong women, as I said, and they could go to the military. There are other jobs that they could do, like, for example, like at the military, if there wasn't a woman, then nobody will really cook, and even if there is a stereotype, the stereotype of fighting, the men fighting, it doesn't match the men are cooking. So they need someone to cook or do something else, else at the military. So the woman, but the women have the benefit about that, so that they could do the left things at the military. So,
Mr. Madam Speaker, my name is Yechan Shin, and as the opposition work speaker, I will be presenting 3 clashes in today's debate to show why opposition takes today's debate home. The first clash of today's debate was about discrimination. Anti-government said that women have to go to militaries to prevent heartbreaking discrimination. However, this is wrong because first, this is not discrimination. To elaborate, the women have a job to take care of their children, so the government is trying to protect their children and the woman. Second, what can protect women better? Of course, it will be opposition side. Women are to be protected, and military is not the place like that. So this is not freedom or reject. This is not freedom or anything. This is about protection. Third, what is the site that provides better empowerment? Mandatory conscription for women leads to significant divisions within the feminist movement. But what did we tell you? We told you that women need mandatory female conscription violates the purpose and foundation of feminism. First, feminism is trying to help women. Women was discriminated in the past, but as a different society right now, feminism aims to give freedom to women too. I think that this is fair because women need or aim to be protected by feminism, and since this is about no reject. This is not freedom or anything. This is just protection. Second, being forced into militaries would not be appreciable. Many women at South Korea do not like to go to military. This is a big military to sacrifice. And the DPM said that there are many brave soldiers. The whip speaker said that there are many brave soldiers which are women and they want to fight a war. But that I think that this rebuttal does not stand because the people those who are like that are really or real soldiers for their jobs. Third, the military is not a protective place for women. Women is being aimed to be protected by the feminism, as I mentioned before. But if women go to a protective place like militaries, this is against the mandatory protection of women. Judge, our team opposition strongly believes that women should not go to military before the age of 25. This is because first, women are being aimed to be protected by feminism. This is true because they were discriminated before. Then they are trying to be, they are being aimed to have freedom. Also, this is not about men's jealousy because men was when men was free at the past when women were being discriminated, and women and men are completely different, so they have completely different jobs. Men, they have to go to military. Women, they have to care about their child and everything. So our team strongly believes that women should not go to military before the age of 25. Judge, I strongly think that we do not have to go to go to we don't have to make women go to military because, as I mentioned, which side provides the better empowerment. This is why we take the first, second, and third class show. Thank you for listening to me. The government team was about advocating for the conscription of women. Their arguments were about that it could give women happiness and that it could make the country stronger. Their rebuttal against team opposition's argument was that we can't prove that women were weak. The opposition team was about not letting the government advocate the conscription of women. Our arguments were that feminism is about protecting women so they have freedom of choice. Women are still weak to help the country, and that mandatory female conscription could lead to worse gender traits. We rebutted the other team's argument about that it could bring them happiness by everyone is not happy when they fight in the war. Now, Judge, our team won because we had good arguments that were hard to rebuttal. Also, we had good teamwork, helping each other, which was one reason we have good staging. Next, we were able to explain why our arguments and points were true. On the other hand, the other team didn't. The opposing team promised us that we don't we need to advocate the conscription for women. However, they failed to give adequate analysis about why their points were true. Lastly, we had good rebuttals that didn't keep the other team's arguments free. So we had good arguments, good rebuttals, and good clashes. This is why we take this debate home, and I am proud to propose for the motion. Thank you.
The women will be complained while free time because they are weak. They did not prove their idea, and we had a idea discrimination. We talked about the huge harm of stereotype at the other team. Won't women be more scared of discrimination? And they did not prove. So their whole case is wrong, and they did not, and they agreed all our case, and we have a chance to women to be strong because there are a lot of women strong. They ignored all our POIs, and so there's a shortcoming that they had a lot of problems at this point. We won this debate because we have fully proved that there are strong and brave women, that there are other jobs that women can do, and that is there a bad stereotype about men are good, but they lose because there was a shortcoming at their argument. So we won the principal round. Third argument, so we won the principal round. Because they did not respond to a POI. Thank you.